bigas at ng palay. The next year, kinakailangan natin magkaroon tayo ng buffer stock. Minimaintain natin yung 60 days buffer stock. Para na sa ganoon ay maisiguro natin ang pangangailangan ng ating mga mamamayan ng bigas sa susunod na taon.
Currently, the agricultural damage caused by the Typhoon Karding reached some 2 billion pesos. DA pledged to provide free seeds assistance, farm input, and loan to affected farmers. Kalay Zalpardilia for the nation.
The country's IT business process management industry is projected to generate over 1 million direct jobs by 2028. According to the IT and Business Process Association of the Philippines, 54% of the jobs will be farmed out to provinces, as the industry is expecting an 8.5% growth in the next 6 years. 3 million indirect jobs from the allied sector of IT BPM are also expected, with an annual revenue of $59 billion by 2028. The IBPAP said the continued strengthening of the dollar and the recent visit of President Marcos Jr. to the United States will help the industry expand in the following years.
The immediate effect will favor the Philippines, but again, much of that depreciation is a result directly of the strength of the US dollar. There are more than a handful of investors who have been actively considering the Philippines.
An integrated resort in Pasay City has introduced a new rewards card for its loyal and future customers. The rewards card, which offers free membership, features more giveaways from various brands such as the Philippine Airlines. A customer can get more rewards depending on the class of Epic Rewards card and accumulated points he or she has. The rewards card doesn't have an expiry date, giving holders more chances to splurge in any of the hotel signature gaming, dining, and hotel facilities.
Our ambition is to give guests an ecosystem, a platform that's not just about us. It's about being able to redeem those points in a variety of different outlets, from convenience all the way through to luxury retail. Whether it's on-site or off-site, we don't care. We just want to make this the most powerful card a guest can carry in their wallet.
The Department of Health is monitoring 6 areas in Metro Manila due to increasing hospital admissions for COVID-19 cases. The details follow shortly.
I am pleased to report to you and the Filipino people the main outcomes and results of this working visit of ours to New York from 18 to 24 September. I articulated the role we see for the Philippines working with the United Nations in building a brighter future for our people and a safer and more just world for us all. I met also with a number of business leaders from different U.S. companies during the week. And all of them committed to be a part of our development and economic growth. Our discussion with the U.S. business community affirms the optimism with which international investors view the Philippines today. The time to invest in the Philippines is no longer just sometime in the future. It is now. We in the Philippine delegation are one in our assessment that the work done in this trip serves as a good start for opportunities identified to be made into programs and projects to benefit the Philippines and our countrymen.
The One Health Pass, or OHP, is a requirement of the government for all international travelers to the Philippines. It is part of measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and other infectious diseases, and to provide hassle-free travel for tourists and returning Filipinos. There is only one official website for the One Health Pass. www.onehealthpass.com.ph, which provides QR codes to be presented upon arrival to the Philippines. And it doesn't require online payment. The Department of Health tells the public to be more vigilant against scammers imitating the OHP website. This is a public service announcement from the Department of Health and the People's Television. Panalangin at pagsaludo sa ating magigiting na Bulacan Rescuers na inialay ang kanilang buhay para sa kaligtasan ng kapwa Pilipino. Ang kabayanihang inyong ipinamalas ay hinding-hindi namin malilimutan.
Living in the streets is already hard, as it is. But being potentially exposed to the unseen deadly global menace would definitely make surviving even harder. That's why the Department of Health and an NGO held a special vaccination for street dwellers today. Kenneth Pasyente has more.
Mika, not her real name, is a street dweller. She sells sampaguita as her source of income. So as protection, she decided to get vaccinated today with her first booster shot against COVID-19.
Hindi namin alam kung may COVID o wala. Kaya nagpabaksin na rin ako.
Mika is one of the street dwellers in Barangay South Triangle in Quezon City who were vaccinated as the government continues its special vaccination days under Pinas Lakas program. According to Health Officer in Charge Maria Rosario Vergere, it is important to give vaccines to this sector as they are considered vulnerable to COVID-19 due to their lack of permanent residence.
Walang maiiwanan. So kahit na 50 lang ang pinuntahan natin dito, pupuntahan natin sila, hindi lang para sa bakuna, para tignan natin yung overall health status nila, ano ang pwede nating maitulong.
DOH also recognized the help of non-government organizations that help street dwellers and who encouraged them to get vaccinated.
Pamilyar na sa kanila yung mga tao, nakakatrabaho na nila for some time, nagkakaroon na sila ng close relationship at may pagtitiwala ng ibinibigay ang sektor na ito dito sa mga NGOs natin. Kaya sa tingin ko, mas madali natin mabibigyan at makukumbinsi ang mga tao kung may mga ganitong sektor na tutulong sa atin.
But Martha's Kitchen, an NGO that helps street dwellers, admitted that convincing them was not easy.
There was a stage na ang hirap na hirap kami manghikayat dahil ang daming false information na kumakalat, and also hesitant din sila dahil they are the ones na walang sense of agency and self-identity when it comes to their legitimacy and their stay in this particular area or where they are located.
Elias John is one of those who was once afraid to get vaccinated, but he wanted to make sure to be protected and decided to get inoculated.
Sabi nila marami namamatay sa bakuna, hindi kinakaya. Siyempre, natakot din ako. Kaya nung 2021, September, sinubukan ko kasi may nagsabi sa akin, para din sa sarili niyo yan, sa pamilya mo. Kaya sumubo kaming pabaksin talaga. Wala naman, kasi wala naman nagkasakit sa amin nung lahat kami nagpabaksin.
Now, the Health Department continues to work with various NGOs to reach other sectors of the population in the country. Meanwhile, the DOH has again asked Congress to approve the necessary funding of the agency to also provide the benefits of healthcare workers. According to Vergere, the government owes healthcare workers 64 billion pesos from July to December of 2021 alone, and another from June to the end of this year.
Meron naman kaming natirang pondo for this year, tapos meron pa kaming hindi nare-release ng DBM, so yan po yung kinakwenta natin ngayon, although nakasulat na tayo sa kanila the other week, kung saan humingi na tayo ng budget for us to pay for this third quarter. So aantayin natin yan.
Earlier, the Department of Budget and Management said that they are working hard with the DOH to ensure healthcare workers are accorded with allowances and benefits. Kenneth Pasyente for The Nation.
Just when talk of a full reopening of the economy began spreading, the Omicron and its subvariant wave is begging our attention, our full, undivided attention. And as our Jillian Geronimo reports, the National Capital Region has quietly crept to a higher moderate risk status with a steady uptick in cases since last week.
Metro Manila is now under moderate risk case classification as 13 of its 17 local government units recorded a rise in COVID-19 cases. Health officer in charge, Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire, also mentioned that there has been an increase in COVID-19 hospital admissions in Pasig, Muntinlupa, Malabon, Makati, Navotas, and Caloocan. She, however, explained that the full admission in the hospitals in these cities are because of limited beds allocated for COVID-19 patients. She also assured that most of them are mild to moderate asymptomatic patients, and severe and critical admissions in the region remain low at 13 to 15%. Despite the rise in hospital admissions, Malabon, Navotas, and Caloocan are among the 4 cities that have not reached the moderate risk classification together with Valenzuela.
Nakikitaan natin ang National Capital Region na patuloy ang pagtaas ng kaso. Although hindi pa siya dun sa significant levels, pero nakikita na natin 13 out of the 17 areas in the National Capital Region ay pumalo na sa moderate risk classification. Kaya ang NCR ngayon ay nasa moderate risk case classification na rin.
The officials said they have anticipated the rise in cases due to the easing of masking mandate outdoors, increased mobility as more sectors reopen, and the low booster vaccination coverage. Despite these, the DOH does not see the need to tighten the face mask mandate for now. Vergeire said they will only recommend this to the President and the Interagency Task Force once severe and critical hospital admissions increase.
So pag nakita natin ang areas, nakikitaan na natin as sa region, lumalagpas na sila more than 50 to 60%. That's the time that the threshold we will reach that threshold, and we need to recommend to the President additional measures to prevent transmission.
Based on the DOH's current projections, new daily COVID-19 cases may reach 4,000 up to 8,000 by the end of October if compliance to minimum public health standards remains low because of the relaxed restrictions. Jillian Geronimo for The Nation.
Workers in the private sector and government can look forward to a flexible work arrangement or working from home once again. This as a result of the Department of Labor and Employment's recent release of Department Order 237 that allows for off-site work and designating those doing it as telecommuting employees. Under the order, employees can request their bosses or employers for a flexible work arrangement, or their supervisors or managers can select those for work-from-home assignments or schedules.
Anumang lugar kung saan pwedeng gawin ang isang trabaho sa tulong po ng telekomunikasyon o computer technology, ito po ay maituturing na alternative workplace. Binigyan din po natin ng bagong definisyon yung regular workplace at yung telecommunication. Pero alam nyo po, dahil na rin sa pakikipag-ugnayan natin sa mga negosyo at mga manggagawa, nilinaw din po natin sa pamamagitan ng bagong IRR na ang trabaho na ginawa o ginagawa sa isang alternative workplace ay maituturing na trabahong ginawa sa isang regular na workplace ng employer. Ito po ay malawakan sa BPO sapagkat alam naman po natin, karamihan sa mga trabaho sa mga BPO ay maaaring gawin sa isang alternative workplace sa pamamagitan po ng telekomunikasyon o teknolohiya. Sa ibang sektor, pwede rin po yan sa manufacturing, sa service and retail.
The proposed budget for the office of the Vice President breezed through and was swiftly approved by the Senate, despite some scrutiny on the confidential fund of the OVP. Aside from the OVP's budget, senators also tackled the outlay for the Department of Education, which is also under the stewardship of the second highest official of the land. Eunice Monte has the full report.
On behalf of the Office of the Vice President, we thank the Senate for the opportunity to brief The esteemed committee.
In just over 30 minutes, the Senate Committee on Finance immediately approved the 2.3 billion pesos proposed budget of the Office of the Vice President for year 2023. Vice President Sara Duterte appeared at the budget hearing where she was warmly received by the senators led by Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri. Just at the beginning of the budget hearing, Zubiri immediately asked fellow senators to approve the budget of the Office of the Vice President, or OVP, as courtesy like the past Vice President.
I know for a fact that this Vice President is a very hard-working Vice President. She has the heart for the Filipino people, and she only wants the best for our people. And that's why her budget request, as far as I'm concerned, is a very sound one.
Although just almost 3 months in position, OVP showed their programs layouts such as the medical and burial services, which have helped 18,000 beneficiaries, free ride for students and workers, the newly opened Disaster Operations Center, and the Change campaign that provides school supplies and bags to students. OVP plans to start next year the healthy food trucks or the mobile kitchen for nutrition program in schools, the Peace 911, and the replication of Davao City Livelihood Program for women and LGBTQIA+ community. Assured by Senator Bong Revilla, the service is getting closer to the people due to OVP placing its satellite offices in different parts of the country, like in Dagupan, Cebu, Surigao, Zamboanga, Bacolod, Tacloban, and Davao.
Tiwala po ko na malayo ang mararating ng Office of the Vice President sa pangunguna ni VP Inday Sara. At mas marami pa itong matutulungan at malawak ang kanyang matutugunan.
Senators no longer ask more about the OVP budget proposal, and only Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel asked about the confidential fund.
As a legislator, tinatanong din ako doon about the confidential fund. Sabi nila this is a first for the OVP. I do not know if that is a correct, but a 500 million peso allocation for confidential funds.
Since 2003 to 2012, there were funds, intel and confidential funds that were granted the Office of the Vice President. And as to the amount, Your Honor, and the propriety of the confidential funds, as we have manifested in the House of Representatives, we leave it to the honorable members of the Senate to decide on this matter.
Also, one of the projects of the OVP is the determination of a permanent home for the Vice President, where it is already talking to GSIS about it.
Right now, sir, we are looking at one property only, and that is the Coconut Palace. But there is no amount yet identified or given by GSIS. But we are still looking at other properties as well of the government that can be used, given to the Office of the Vice President for a permanent office.
According to Senator Sonny Angara, who is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Finance, it is tradition to approve OVP's budget quickly out of respect to the office. The DepEd's budget was also heard in the Senate, where Duterte proudly cited a successful reopening of classes even in the middle of pandemic. Eunice Samonte for The Nation.
There is a 98% chance a global recession will happen next year. This according to a probability model run by Ned Davis Research, an independent research firm. Economists seem to agree, as 7 out of 10 economists surveyed by the World Economic Forum said they believe a global recession is somewhat likely next year, amid aggressive interest hikes by central banks around the world in a bid to control high inflation.
The Bank of England has pledged to buy long-dated bonds of the United Kingdom. According to Britain's central bank, it will be buying around £65 billion of bonds after the new administration announced tax cuts, which triggered a sell-off. The bank also delayed the start of a program to sell down government bond holdings due to potential risks to the stability of the financial system.
The European Union has vowed to protect its energy network, particularly the 2 Nord Stream natural gas pipelines in the Baltic Sea. This comes after unusual leaks were discovered this week on the pipelines running from Russia to Germany. EU Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell promised a robust response to any intentional disruption of energy infrastructure, adding they will back any investigation on the matter.
And here are the results of tonight's multi-million peso lotto draws from the PCSO.
Good evening, Lotto players. For those who missed our draws today, September 29, 2022, I will be doing a recap of our winning numbers, starting off with the results of our 2 p.m. draw. For the 2D Lotto, we have 11 and 24 in exact order. Sa 3D Lotto, the numbers are 7, 8, and 8 in exact order. And results of our 5 p.m. draw for the 2D Lotto, the winning combination is 16 and 7 in exact order. For the 3D Lotto, we have 1, 5, and 9 in exact order. And finally, the results of our 9 p.m. draw for the 2D Lotto, the winning numbers are 22 and 18 in exact order. Sa 3D Lotto, the numbers are 9, 1, and 8 in exact order. And for our 6D Lotto, the winning combination is 3, 7, 1, 9, 7, and 9 in exact order. Okay, para naman po sa ating Lotto 642 in any order, we have the numbers 26, 40, 37, 38, 34, and 17 with our jackpot prize of 20,521,016 pesos and 80 centavos net of the agent's prize commission. And finally, for our Super Lotto 649, again in any order, we have 11, 40, 41, 25, 33, and 43 with our jackpot prize of 110,134,645 pesos and 60 centavos net of the agent's prize commission. Okay, doon po sa mga nagtatanong kung may jackpot winners ba tayo tonight? Ayon po sa PCSO Data Center, for our Lotto 642, we have no winner. And for our Super Lotto 649, still walang nanalo. Okay, that's all for tonight. Para po sa PCSO Lottery Draw Recap, ako po si Jasper Espino. Maraming salamat po.
Weather experts say the Intertropical Convergence Zone, or ITCZ, will affect weather conditions over southern Mindanao. Based on Pag-asa's latest bulletin, there will be partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers and thunderstorms in Metro Manila and the rest of the country due to the ITCZ and localized thunderstorms. Meanwhile, no weather disturbance has been reported or monitored inside the Philippine Area of Responsibility. And let's find out what the weather will be like in key Philippine and Asian cities.
Pole Body Chief Commissioner George Garcia is sticking to a schedule to hold the Village and Youth Council elections slated for the 5th of December as mandated by the 1987 Charter. And unless the President signs off on the latest act of Congress setting aside the said electoral exercises for October next year, there will be no interruption in the Pole Body's preparations, as we hear more from PTV's Melalis Moras.
As headed by Commission on Elections Chairperson George Garcia and National Printing Office Director Carlos Batan, the COMELEC and the NPO signed today a memorandum of agreement for the printing of more than 90 million ballot forms to be used for the barangay and sangguniang kabataan elections.
The better policy approach talaga is to prepare, print the ballots, and all election paraphernalia na gagamitin natin, procure everything, because that is what the law provides.
Rest assured that we will carry out and accomplish this task with the highest degree of integrity.
Following this, the ballot printing has commenced, which is expected to last for 1 month. The process of printing is comprehensive from the server to the printer up to the cutting, stitching, and gumming of ballot pads. This is how the official ballot looks like, where the voter must write the names of his or her chosen candidates, unlike in the national elections where the format was multiple choice selection for automated counting. According to COMELEC Chairperson Garcia, this is proof that their preparations for the elections proceed as per constitutional mandate despite the ratification by both houses of Congress of the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the bill postponing the BSKE. From the original date of December 5, 2022, the lawmakers agreed to move it to the last Monday of October 2023. As of the moment, it is in President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s hands whether to enact the election's postponement or not. Meanwhile, while waiting, the COMELEC once again assured the public that no matter what happens, no public funds will be wasted. They will also push through with a scheduled calendar of activities